What's up, guys? This is Ray, and today we'll be talking about the 2004 Japanese movie Nobody Knows, directed by Koreeda Hirokazu. And this review is actually a request for one of my patrons over at Patreon, Q10. Q10 had requested that I review either a movie by Kurosawa or Koreeda, so here we are with Nobody Knows. And I gotta tell you, Nobody Knows is the first movie I've ever watched of Koreeda. And what an introduction this was to his work. This movie is very hard to watch, and I think when I watched it, I didn't know how to feel after watching this movie. So the story of Nobody Knows is about these four kids, all from different dads, but they all have the same mother, who's played by actress Yu, and she seems like a good mother at first, and but she and the kids had to move into this apartment after being evicted from the previous apartment because they're just making too much noise, apparently. So when they move into this new apartment, they just made it known to the landlord that it's just the mom and the eldest son, Akira, who are going to be occupying the apartment. Akira is played by Yagira Yuya. I think at this time he was going through his child actor phases, but he's still active today. But anyway, so the other three siblings are snuck in secret. And so they live a life of just staying away, trying to out of the public eye, keeping out of trouble. But for some reason, these kids aren't allowed to go to school by their mom, surprisingly. And we really don't know the reason why. But one thing we do know about the family is that the mom works late hours into the night. And one day she tells her kids that she's met a new man that she likes. And ever since then, she's been coming home later and later until one day she just doesn't come home. And I forget exactly how long she just stays away from us, probably like a month, maybe a few months, but she leaves a bundle of cash for the kids so that they can take care of themselves. And then, she visits one last time until she just never comes back. So basically it's about these four kids trying to live on their own. They have only the older siblings to rely on. And yeah, this movie is basically about child abandonment and negligence. And because of all these themes, this is definitely one of the hardest movies by Koreeda to watch. So when it comes to the positives of Nobody Knows, first of all, the performances by the young cast, they're all kids. Well, I want to say younger than 14. I don't know exactly how old all the young performers were during the time of making this movie, but they were all fantastic. You really believe the chemistry of these kids. You believe that they're actual brothers and sisters, that they're not just actors. You felt some organic chemistry between them, and that's important, especially when it comes to kids. Sometimes their emotions come off as kind of forced, but you really believe the relationship between the kids in this movie. And the adults are in and out of the story. The adults, they don't play a large role. They shine the spotlight mainly on the kids, but even the adults who come in and out of the story, you got to commend them on the performance as well. Especially you, the lead actress who plays the mother. You really start to despise her as the story goes along. You don't know what to expect at first, and then she kind of plays off like nothing is wrong. She's just basically an irresponsible adult who just doesn't care, just lets things play out as they would. But Yu's performance as this kind of character was definitely commendable. And you do get different male actors popping in and out of the story, a lot of which are big names. Like you have Kimura Yuichi, you have Endo Kenichi, Terashima Susumu, and even Kase Ryo. Like they all pop in and out in smaller roles in the story, but they all contribute something for the greater narrative of this movie. And the way this movie captures the amount of time that passes by from the beginning of the story to the end, like it doesn't explicitly say like 2 months later or 1 week later, 1 year later. You can kind of see the age, the passage of time through the aging of the kids. The kids, their hair starts getting longer. It almost looks as if like they're growing as well. I'm not sure how long this movie took to finish filming. You really felt like the kids got bigger throughout the duration of the filming of this movie. And not only that, you see the way their circumstances change with the passage of time. As the story gets longer and longer, their house gets just dirtier and filthier. Their hair and their clothes gets dirtier. They're just really unkept, and it's just sad to see everything happen to the kids. And I think that's something that Koreeda does well in his movies. He really does well with capturing human characters, and you definitely feel like you have a big connection with these characters and the trials that they're going through. And something that got me was just the way different scenes were juxtaposed together. Like, you had the kids kind of being carefree, they're happy, they're playing, and it's a happy moment. But you take a look at their circumstances, and it's pretty grim, and it's pretty dark, and you feel very sad for everything that's happening to them. And I think what makes it harder is that supposedly this movie was inspired by true events that happened in Tokyo. They say that this movie, the characters that are featured in this story are all fictional, but the events were inspired by true events, and that's kind of sickening as well, just to hear that this kind of stuff happens. Also, I dug the music. The music did very well in capturing the spirit of the story, and I thought the movie was well paced, but I think when I say well paced, I mean appropriate for the story, because it does kind of drag at certain parts, especially if you want the story to pick up a little bit. But I thought that the pace was very appropriate to everything that was happening on screen. And when it comes to the negatives of Nobody Knows, there's nothing bad I have to say as far as anything technically speaking about this movie, nor with the performances of any of the characters. I think everything was very well put together to make this kind of experience when watching this. And it's not a happy experience when watching this. Let me tell you. So, overall, what I have to say about this, when you watch this movie, if you enjoy Koreeda's type of storytelling, then there's definitely a lot to enjoy about the story. When I say enjoy, I mean, you take a look at the way he connects you with the characters, the way the characters connect with each other, the way he just captures the drama of it all. Like, Koreeda is just a master of that. The way he directs his performances to pull out all sorts of emotions. And I think, when it comes to capturing that kind of stuff, like, Koreeda is unmatched. But definitely don't watch this movie if you're looking for something lighthearted, something fun, something just entertaining for the sake of being entertaining. This movie has a lot to say, and I think if you want to watch a very emotional kind of film, this movie, definitely check it out. But yes, those are my thoughts on Nobody Knows. What did you guys think? Please let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me in all the social media channels. And thank you once again to my patrons over at Patreon for helping support the channel, especially Q10 for requesting that I review a Koreeda film for you, so I can talk about it with you guys today. And yes, that's it for me. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all again in the next video. Take it easy.